How to choose a swim cap and goggles. Hello friends, my name is Andrew. You are watching the channel Swim from Zero. The topic of today's video lesson is how to choose swimming accessories, specifically a swim cap and swimming goggles. Choosing a swim cap. Let's start with the swim cap. For swimming training, it is best to choose modern swim caps made of thick silicone or rubber. These caps fit tightly around the head, compress the hair, and hold everything in place. Most importantly, they stay on the head and do not slip off during swimming. If we remember the older types of swim caps from the past, especially those with small ear covers that were popular in the Soviet era, they were not very practical. Water could easily get inside around the edges, air would enter, and the cap would lose its tight fit. Modern swim caps are more flexible and almost universal in size, so they fit the head much better. Caps made from thin plastic or polyethylene, which are sometimes used by people just for bathing, are not suitable for swimming training. They are good for casual swimming or showering, but not for proper swimming practice. Brands. Different brands produce swim caps. The most important thing is not the brand itself, but the material and quality of the cap. This cap, for example, is probably made in China and does not belong to a specific brand that I want to highlight. However, as I mentioned in my previous video about choosing swim trunks, one of the most well-known swimming brands is Speedo. Another well-known brand is Arena, although Speedo is often considered one of the main companies specializing specifically in swimming equipment. Choosing swimming goggles. Now, let's talk about swimming goggles. The most important thing when choosing goggles is to check how they fit your face. When you are in the store, you can test them right away. Take the goggles out of the box and lightly moisten the rubber seal, for example with a little saliva, and gently press the goggles against your eyes without using the strap. If the goggles stay on your face for a moment without falling, that means they create a good seal and vacuum around your eyes. That means the goggles will hold well in the water. If they fall off immediately, then the fit is not correct. Goggles construction. These goggles have a rigid nose bridge and silicone seals. Silicone is good because it is resistant to chlorine and lasts longer in pool water. Another important detail is the double strap. A double strap helps distribute pressure evenly around the head and keeps the goggles more stable during swimming. Lens height. Some goggles are designed with very low-profile lenses. In swimming, lower-profile goggles are often better, especially for competitive swimming. If the lenses are too large or too high, there is a risk that during a dive or a start they may be pushed off by the water. That is why swimmers often prefer goggles that sit closer to the face. Training versus professional goggles. Some goggles have soft rubber seals around the eyes, while others have minimal padding and only the lenses. Low-profile racing goggles are often used by professional swimmers. However, for beginners or recreational swimmers, goggles with a comfortable silicone seal are perfectly suitable. These are good for training, recreational swimming, and learning the basics. Conclusion. That's all for today's lesson about choosing a swim cap and swimming goggles. Thank you for your attention. Subscribe to the channel for more swimming lessons and useful tips. See you next time on Swim from Zero. My name is Andrew.